Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome now back to the landscaping series. I am your host, the RentalManBuch. If you guys are just now tuning in, I would be glad to describe to you guys what we are doing. Currently, right now, we are on our way to give an estimate on a property that is going up for sale, but it's gonna need some work. I think if there's anything else that might need some work, it might be my head, because, you know, if you turn onto a private drive, you tend to find out that you're not going to the right place. The situation came down to an elderly couple out on the farm. Their kids did not want to take over, so the property started to deteriorate because the couple could not take care of it. They have since moved to a townhome in the local city limits, and we're possibly going to be cleaning up this area for a really good resale. The property should be just over this hill, so we'll see you guys once we get there for the inspection. Oh, well, that's convenient. Morning, guys. Josh, is it? Perfect, man. I'm ready to go take a look at the property. I don't necessarily know what you and your dad are deciding on. What happened to actually be your dad's name? Jason, very nice to meet you, man. Jason and Josh. Now that's a combo I can get behind. If you guys want to leave me around, let's take a look at this property and see what we're going to be working with. I got some stakes. I got some markers so that we can mark off exactly what we're going to need to work on. Starting out in the yard, the biggest one I'm going to be seeing as an issue right now is we got a bunch of these thistles. If you guys have ever worked with thistles, you can technically, yes, just cut them, but because it is a, returning weed, it's best to pull these things by hand and then spray it with a chemical application, kind of like a vegetation control, so that way it doesn't come back. I know a lot of these trees are still doing good, but we got a lot of overcrowding going on, so we're probably going to have to do quite a bit of tree removal. We'll pretty much pick the ones that are causing the biggest threats. I know the pine tree outside the house is going to be causing some problems because if that tree tips over, it's going straight into the side of the gutters. But trees like this willow tree could be taken out. I think this, I might leave that big boy, but a lot of these littler dogwoods we're probably going to rip out. Jason, what might be the area that I would need to clear out back here? Because you guys are already going to take care of all the rusted trucks and everything else. I mean, Jason, right now, are you guys going to be getting the IBC tanks out and all that? Or are you just kind of thinking about what you guys want to do? You guys are going to take care of all this stuff. Okay, I could definitely do that. There's more thistles, so we're definitely going to have to work with that. There is a... Ooh, okay, so that's actually a bale trailer. Where is actually the property line that we're going to be stopping the mowing? Like, are we going all the way back to the hog barns in the back? No? Okay. We're going to shut it off right before the power tower. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark with the stake. There's our one corner. That part of the tree line. Just give the stake a quick wiggle to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Same can be said for this one. And I think that this entire strip going that way is what we are going to be clearing out or trimming up. Well, Jason, I think what I can analyze from just the look over of the property, obviously I'm going to have to do some chemical application as well as the removal of all the thistles. I don't know why you got thistles out here. Did something like cross over from the alfalfa ground? Yeah, okay. Well, looking at my numbers, I do have the services marked down for mowing, chemical, tree work, and labor travel. The mowing, I'm only going to charge you about 250 bucks. And then for chemical work, I'll do you for 750 because we're going to have to get all the thistles out of here. And then there's also going to be the dandelions. There's going to be crabgrass. We'll spray for all of that. Make sure that we get this yard looking nice. Because if you guys want to get the best resale value, I'm going to make sure I take good care of you. Tree work, we're probably going to quote you about $4,000. I don't know exactly which trees we're all going to have to take out yet. There's a couple of them that are no-brainers. That's probably what's going to end up being is about $4,000. Travel labor, we got about 500 bucks between road travel of here, there, and back with fuel and mileage. So about $5,500 is going to round out your total. Is that going to be something that you're interested in? At least that I can quote you for right now? That'll interest you? All right, Jason. Well, I don't know what really to tell your son, Josh. It kind of looks like he's draining the lizard over there, but you have yourself a good one, bud. I will see you guys probably in about a week. It's going to take a little bit to get this one planned up. We will do that. Thank you, Jason. See you, Josh. I like those guys. So it looks like for Jason and Josh, they are going to want to take our services. I tried to quote them a fair price, but I know that this is going to take quite a bit of work just because of the amount for the thistles, the tree. The trees are going to be the hugest part because if we're hauling out a bunch of tree limbs, that's a lot of time to chop, make sure we're doing it safely. We got to go through our chainsaws. It is what it is. But moving on to better things, if you guys like content like this and would love to see more, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe down below. We are on the race to 100,000 public subscribers by the end of this year. Landscape series is finally going to be starting to kick into its heavy season, so I'm going to have to really start working on getting some bigger and better projects for you guys. I know a couple months ago I actually did a video that was based on a foreclosed property that was going to be going up for sale. So if you guys want to check that out, be sure to check out the top right-hand corner of your screen right now. If you guys didn't notice, we also invested ourselves in a brand new 2016 F350. Obviously, that's not brand new, but it's a great truck. Got a 6.7 power stroke in it. Even got ourselves some strobe lights on it. I love it. So we'll see you guys back at the shop. We'll start loading up, and we are going to head to our first 2 contract jobs already of the day. We secured some brand new deals, and I'd love to show you guys what they are.
A few moments later.
Since we are back at the shop now, I wanted to show you guys this brand new Prowler RX gooseneck trailer we ended up investing in. This thing has been a great addition to our fleet, and I am really excited to get to use this thing even more come to the summer season. We're going to head inside the shop, though, get our Husqvarna yard tractor. We've already gotten the bagger system disconnected from it, but in the other side of the shop behind the Bobcat, we actually have ourselves a little lawn sprayer we ended up purchasing from Tractor Supply. We got a 6-meter wide boom width. We're going to go and spray some weeds at the local storage unit complex that just went up. And we'll also be heading over to our local Autozone and doing the exact same thing. So I'm going to get us loaded up, and we'll get on our way to this beautiful job site. Now that we're on the road, I do need to make one quick pit stop over at Tractor Supply. We are going to pick ourselves up a load of Roundup chemical. I thought I had some back on the shelf in the shop, but I was proven wrong. But nothing like a little bit of a setback to get your day going. The one property that's worrying me is the storage unit yard. I do know that it is all gravel, so I'm thinking that depending on how much rain and sunlight we've gotten, there probably is going to be some weed buildup in that gravel. The red lights on this map are always have been a pain in the rear end, but you know what? We are rolling now into Tahitian. If you guys are wondering what map we are on Tahitian County, Iowa. This is a very beautiful PC-only 4X map. There we go. This map always seems to change ever so slightly every time we use it. And yep, just as I feared, that gravel is coated with a bunch of weeds. AutoZone's not bad, but we really just have to mow that yard. There's actually a jug of stuff you guys can get at Tractor Supply. It's called Total Vegetation Control. It is a very, very strong and potent weed chemical that, as long as you dilute it and you watch your drift, you should be just fine. And it will knock, and I mean knock, the weeds out. So I'm going to run inside quick, pick myself up a couple of those jugs, and we will see you guys out in just a few. 8 gallons worth of herbicide later, we are set to go. I really don't know why, but I just love Tractor Supply. I'm going to try and get myself set up, though. I believe I'm going to start in the storage units, since there's a lot more work to be done there. Then we'll jump ourselves over just by driving to the Autozone and mow that little lot out, because it doesn't look like they have a lot of weeds. Yeah, look at all these weeds. Got a couple mixtures between some, like, really, I mean, it's almost like kelp. You know, I'm, for one, did not know they grew kelp inside of these storage units. Must be a good business. Just doing a quick little overview, it seems to be that the front is actually the worst, which that's kind of, like, really bad for sake of advertising. You'd kind of probably want to have the front place be the cleanest. I'm going to fix that problem up right quick, give this bad boy a couple pumps, and we're set. Pretty much all I'm going to do is just spray out all of these major weeds. I could probably just pull the Husqvarna off and make quick work of this, which is what I might do. So let's mosey our way into the actual storage doors, and especially that front side, because I know it's going to be harder to get that sprayer boom right up against that door than it would be for me to just kind of use the wand. Yeah, let's just kind of start spraying this. Do some weed preventions. I know I got my mixtures right. This is going to hopefully be able to knock out a majority of these and burn them away. We don't really have very much wind today, so I don't have to worry about a whole lot of drift. Yep, got to pump it up again. That is the one downside to this. I need to get the one where it's like a backpack one, and there's a pumper on the left, and your wand is on the right. I actually used to use one of those one time, and it was cool. I'll just work my way back since I can kind of hit these patches. There's not nearly as many on the outside. I'll still probably run one big pass with the Husqvarna, though, just to make sure that we are going to burn off all of this nasty stuff. That should cover the weed control by hand. Let's jump on the Husqvarna, get the booms out on the back, because I still kind of haven't set up the sprayer part of that yet. But we'll set up the sprayer booms, get that tank filled with chemical, and we will be on our way. I know, for one, that we don't need to use a whole bunch of chemicals, so I'm going to get that lid off the top, just like that. Let's get our boom set up on the back and make sure all of our wiring is perfectly good. Just like that. And now, let's start knocking out some spraying. We'll make our way through the yard. I forgot when I was working on this thing, I kind of did make the spray nozzles work. Or at least I tried and I couldn't figure it out. But it's spraying, don't you worry. It's spraying. I'll just say if this doesn't burn up all of these weeds, I don't know what will, because we are cooking them. We'll have to check back in probably about 2 days' time. That will really be our best case scenario of deciphering whether or not we killed off the weeds or if we needed to apply more. If you guys are doing chemical work, be sure you have the proper PPE. This stuff can burn and irritate your skin badly. Don't need anybody going to the emergency room for drinking the forbidden orange juice. All we got left is to finish up the back side, so let me turn that off, and then we will kick this thing back on one more time and finish out the back. Honestly, don't even think I'm going to move the truck. It's actually just a really quick hop, skip, and a jump. I'm just going to close the gate so I can get this stuff underway. This Husqvarna, though, has been an absolute beauty, though, to my fleet. I love this little guy. It gets the job done just fine. Even though it's got a small mower deck on it, it's not about how fast you can mow, it's how well you can mow fast. Sure, I could have went with a John Deere. I probably should have went with a John Deere, but the price was right, and you really can't complain when it gets the job done right without having to worry about it. Now, I did also secure a contract with the storage unit company and Autozone for full treatment of the lawn via chemical work. We also have them on there for the yard maintenance work. And if need be, we also have them for tree removal and lumber work. Those contracts have us sitting nice and pretty in the bank. Of course, we don't have $88 million, but in my imagination, I'd really like to think I do. With the inside done, let's move the gates back open and head to the outside. During this summer season, it has been getting rather warm, so I don't know. I might just kind of scalp this grass a little bit, as we're going to be getting quite a bit of rain in the next few weeks, and really allow that grass to pretty much rebuild itself, get itself a new identity. What we're doing is we're not going after like a dethatching where we're basically taking out all the dead grass. I'm pretty much just making the grass go bald, so that way when it gets the water on top of it, the water can actually soak down into the roots, and then it grows back in a much fuller and thicker blade. Speaking of blades, if you guys want to check out the world's greatest farm soap to keep your equipment clean and better free from maintenance, go check out Andy of Andy Clean. I, for one, growing up, was very adamant with my dad about keeping the mower clean, so every time we got done with a property, we would basically raise the mower up, get the pressure washer out, get a scraper, scrape out all the grass, rewash the deck, and just keep it nice. I want you guys, as the viewers, though, to hit down in the comments, what do you guys mow your lawn with? I'm going to be actually taking over at my new place that I'll be moving to probably officially as of next week. I use my dad's 2003 John Deere GS45. It is a 54-inch walk-behind commercial deck mower. The grass that's down in the ditch, though, it's definitely got a lot thicker. You can tell this is definitely where the water sits. One last part, and if you guys really do know that catching that deck on there and scalping the yard even worse down into the dirt, that sucks. I'll finish clearing out this tiny little portion and we'll be on our way over to AutoZone. There's one thing that I really like to work on when mowing the grass is driving straight lines. Nobody likes to see stripes that are basically all over the place. That's not a stripe, that's a ziggly line that you draw when you're 3 years old. AutoZone, though, is not going to be too big of a hassle, since really all we have to do is just do the outskirt loop and then that front patch. Just doing my outside loop, looking over at Home Depot, I need to talk to them about getting some sort of a contract deal set up. I would love to go take care of the Home Depot, but that is really up to them, and this is actually really nice because all this is just one quick pass and I'm done. The only thing that really drives me nuts about this Husqvarna is the fact that the what would be the deck adjuster for your deck height is actually what they classify as your gear shift. But it's farm sim. I like the mower. Now I can start cutting this stuff though. Ah yes, all of the hate I'm going to receive for throwing that grass on the road. I love it. That should finish out all of our ditch line. So the last thing we have to do is do this tiny little corner patch around these bushes, and then I'm actually going to run into AutoZone. I got to do the oil change on my car at home, and one of my favorite things to do to save a bit of money is to head over and get the STP combo. I get the motor oil, I get the oil filter, and then I also get a choice between a cabin air filter or the air filter, and I think I saved like $10. It's the cost of one of the filters. So not too bad. I don't know what it is about mowing grass, but it is just like one of the most soothing things to watch and do. And this should be, without whacking myself, ow, all she wrote. I'd say I'm pretty proud of my work. Doing what every Bobby Boucher owner would do in a small town with a lawnmower. Let's run inside quick, grab my oil parts, and we will see you guys back over at the truck.
Later.
Oil filters bought, combo ready to go. Let's boogie. I think that is going to do it though for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for checking out the landscaping series. I hope you did enjoy it. We are going to come back and check on the weeds within about a week, or at least 2 to 3 days. Then what we'll do is we'll come through here with either the Husqvarna or one of my cheaper mowers, raise the deck up, and we will just shred the tops of those weeds off so they are gone and also forgotten. After sneaking my way out of the storage unit yard, I will see you guys in the next one. This is the Rental Man out.